Joker is a 2019 American psychological thriller film directed and produced by Todd Phillips, who also co-wrote the screenplay with Scott Silver. The film is based on the DC comic book characters and stars Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker and provides a possible origin story for the character. Set in 1981, it follows Arthur Fleck, a failed clown and stand-up comedian whose descent into insanity and nihilism inspires a violent counter-cultural revolution against the wealthy in a decaying Gotham City. Robert De Niro, Zazie Beetz, Francis Conroy, Brett Cullen, Bill Camp, and Marc Maron appear in supporting roles. Phillips conceived Joker in 2016 and wrote the script with Silver throughout 2017. The two inspired by the 1970s character studies and the films of Martin Scorsese, particularly Taxi Driver and King of Comedy. Scorsese was initially attached to the project as a producer before he dropped out. The film loosely adapts plot elements from the Batman Killing Joke, the famous graphic novel by Alan Moore. But Phillips and Silver otherwise did not look to Pacific Comics for inspiration. Joaquin Phoenix became attached to the project in February 2018 and was cast in July of that year. Joker is the first live-action theatrical Batman film to receive an R rating from the Motion Picture Association. Joker had its world premiere at the 76th Venice International Film Festival on August 31, 2019, where it won the Golden Lion and was released to the United States on October 4, 2019. While Phoenix's performance was praised, as was the direction, the dark tone and portrayal of mental illness and handling of violence divided opinions and generated concerns of inspiring real-life violence. Despite this, though, Joker was a box office success and set records for October release. It grossed over $1 billion and became the first R-rated film to do so. It became the sixth highest-grossing film of 2019 during its theatrical run. The film also received numerous accolades. At the 92nd Academy Awards, it earned 11 nominations, including Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Adapted Screenplay. Joaquin Phoenix would go on to win the Oscar for Best Actor in 2019. Now, Warner Brothers pushed for Phillips to cast Leonardo DiCaprio as the Joker initially, hoping to use his frequent collaborator Scorsese's involvement to attract him to the film. However, Phillips said that Phoenix was his only actor he had ever considered. Between 2014 and 2015, Phoenix had expressed interest to his agent in acting in a low-budget character study type of film about a comic book villain, like the DC Comics character, the Joker. Phoenix had previously declined to act in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, turning down the role of the Hulk and Doctor Strange. Similarly, Todd Phillips had been offered to direct comic-based films a number of times, but declined because he thought they were too loud and they did not interest him. According to Phillips, the Joker was created from his idea to create a different, more grounded comic book film. He was attracted to the Joker because he did not think there was a definite portrayal of the character, which he knew would provide a lot of creative freedom. Jared Leto, who had portrayed the Joker in the DCU, was displeased by the existence of a project separate from his own interpretation. In October 2019, it was reported Leto had felt alienated and upset when he learned that Warner Brothers, which had promised him a standalone film, had let Phillips proceed with his own Joker film. Now, Joaquin Phoenix plays Arthur Fleck, Joker, a mentally ill, impoverished party clown and stand-up comedian disregarded by society, whose history of abuse causes him to become a nihilistic criminal with a clown motif. Phoenix had been interested in a low-budget character study of the comic book character. He said the film feels unique and it's in its own world in some ways, and maybe it might as well be the thing that scares you the most. Now, Phoenix is absolutely magnificent in this film, and of course he carries the whole show. The Joker is a fascinating film, and a lot of people were confused when watching it, expecting a comic book fantasy big-budget movie, but instead you get a grounded, gritty, dark film, introspective, about a man's descent into madness. A dark character study of psychosis and how one man cannot take any more beatings given to him. This, of course, is the foundation of the Joker character, one of the most iconic characters not only in comic books, but in all entertainment media. And that's what fascinates me so much about the Batman-based characters. They're all so multi-layered, so fascinating, so much more realistic than they're given credit for. And the Joker, of course, is the top of this list. These characters aren't purely written for children. They're more in depth than that. They're darker. They're more real. All possessing various different types of psychological trauma and issues, including Batman himself. I think this is why the public has this absolute fascination with the Joker. It's because he is so multi-layered. He's a genius. He's complex. And he's nigh impossible to understand. What makes him tick? Is it that he wants to see the world burn and cause chaos? Is it to send a message? Or is it to gain notoriety and be remembered forever? I think it's all of those. This isn't a man obsessed with material wealth. He isn't obsessed with getting rich, No, this is a man trying to make a point, a statement on what he views as a broken down system, a broken society, a culture that has made him. And like every other psychopath, he blames everyone else except himself. Now, Phoenix's portrayal as the Joker is absolutely on point. His descent into madness is eerie to watch play out on screen, but you just cannot take your eyes off of him. Of course, this role was always going to be compared to the iconic performance by Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight, but this is a different interpretation. This is set in a different world. Here, Joker is trying to find himself with the world. His laugh is a nervous tick, for which he cannot help. His jokes are mysterious and dark. His mother is ill and dying, and he is a failed comedic, pretending to be a clown. He is socially inadequate and frankly just an outcast. I found the story fascinating that he could be the illegitimate son of Thomas Wayne and therefore Bruce's older brother. I also love the scene where he goes to Wayne Manor and confronts a young Alfred and a young Bruce Wayne. And even the riots at the end, which are of course inspired by him, and you can see how easily something like this in real life could play out, and the way the Waynes are shot down in the alleyway, and the way this is now the interpretation of how Batman, of course, begins. There are parts in the film where you even have sympathy for Arthur Fleck, but slowly that feeling turns into absolute horror as you see the descent of this man as he falls deeper and deeper into depravity and madness. Now, Phoenix is perfect for this role, as he's always been somewhat of an offbeat actor, and he just possesses the right amount of madness, if you will, to play the maniac that is the Joker. Then we of course have the excellent Robert De Niro, in his best role in years, frankly, as Murray Franklin, a talk show host who plays a role in Arthur's downfall. De Niro said his role in Joker pays homage to his character from The King of Comedy in 1983, Rupert Pumpkin, who's a comedian obsessed with the talk show host. I also enjoyed Zazie Beetz as Sophie Dumont, a cynical single mother and Arthur's so-called love interest. Beetz, a huge fan of Phoenix, said it was an honor to co-star with him and that she learnt a lot from working with him on set. Of course, it's fascinating to see the duality of what's really happening and what's happening, of course, in Arthur Fleck's mind as he now pursues this woman. Frances Conroy is very good as Penny Fleck, Arthur's mentally and physically ill mother, who formerly worked for Thomas Wayne. Additionally, we have Brett Cullen, who plays Thomas Wayne, a billionaire running for mayor of Gotham. Alec Baldwin was initially cast in the role but had to drop out due to scheduling conflicts. The Joker is purely a case study on someone's descent into madness, and that's what makes it such a fascinating, intelligent, engrossing film. I think a lot of people saw the title and the premise for the film and thought, hey, another big comic book blockbuster for the summer. Instead, here we have an introspective film, slow, scary, haunting, methodical, and at times utterly perplexing. Joaquin Phoenix is magnificent and steals the show and fully deserves his Best Actor win at the Oscars. The Joker gets a 9 out of 10.